Come on, somebody's got to be out there. Somebody's got to be out there watching. Come on. All you people that stayed home today because of the snowstorm, let's see it. Ah, there we go with one. Okay, great. And another. Here we go. All right, now we're starting to build this thing up. Well, now, let's see. And here's the other half of our dynamic duo today. That's Foster. I'm Bruce. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning.
Well, the title of today's episode was and it's still advertised as Incalmo. However, when I titled it, I've followed, was it Britney Spears, right? But I said, oops, they did it again. And so if you remember a couple of months ago, the other guys couldn't make it in. It was just me and Foster, and it was the old guys having fun. So we're going to try it again today, right, buddy?
Yeah.
Okay.
A repeat performance.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to have some fun. Hope you enjoy the show. I'll show you some of the pieces up here. Unfortunately, we don't have Josh and Todd today here, and they are the more experienced incalmo makers, but we thought, what the heck, we can give it a try. We don't mind if something doesn't go quite right. So we're going to explain the incalmo process. We'll show you a couple pieces, and we'll see what we can do. And actually, I see a couple up here that I had made. So, and another warning, I'll get all our excuses out of the way first. Foster and I have never worked together making an incalmo piece. So not only are you having fun in the snow, Jennifer, we're going to be having fun in the hot shop. So basically, incalmo is adding two or more sections of glass together. No, we're not really snowed in. Todd and Josh are, but Foster lives here, and I managed to somehow get over here. Okay, so let's get into this business of incalmo. Here it is in its simplest iteration. This is a white with a blue bowl. And as you can imagine, there were two cups, one white, one blue, that were then joined together, and that's the line you see there in the middle. So we'll be doing something similar to that, okay? Yes, there is a generator for the furnace if the power goes out. And we have plenty of propane running that generator, but we don't even need it right now. Okay, so there's your simplest incalmo. And then you can move on from there as far as your imagination takes you. So here's one I did a while back. And in this one, there's some twisted canes down in the bottom, the red layer. And then there's a layer of purple and then a layer of gold. So that's a triple incalmo. So there's three of it there. Here's a piece Todd did a while back, a really beautiful bowl. And he's not only got the triple incalmo going, he's got different colors with the green blue in the middle, a series of trails right in the center, and then a pink outside, okay? And here's one I did a while back, and it's got that chalcedony in the middle, and it's got a blue rim on it. In this case, the two cups weren't equal size. The blue one was smaller, so it just looks like a short section. You can also do things where you join two cups together and switch the axis. So this one right here is a perfect example. We had one side pink, one side teal. By switching the axis or not joining the cups one on top of the other, the pieces come out side to side, and then one's on one side, one's on the other. If you design the piece so the cups are not equally distributed, you get something like this, where the bulk of the more solid gold cup is on the right-hand side and the trail is on the left-hand side. It gives you a beautiful design element. So this is what incalmo is all about. And when we get Josh and Todd back next week to do the adult version of this technique, and Foster and I are sitting on the sidelines, maybe they'll do some of the big stuff. But in the meantime, we're going to go for it. And I need one thing, Foster. I need to find my hat. So it's around here somewhere. Okay, well, I'll find that as Foster gets started. You go ahead, Foster. We'll get it going. So this is what Foster's going to use here in the way of color.
Here we go.
He's going to have this, what were your colors again now?
This is the Celadon, and this is the dusty blue color.
Okay, so great. So the lower half of his vessel,
Will be the Celadon.
that'll be the Celadon. Okay, well, good morning, Jerry, and welcome. And I notice we're picking up even more viewers as we go. And so I'll fill you in while Foster gets started with a gather. He and I are here alone in the studio today. Actually, we have Theta on the computer doing the most important part. The other guys are not here due to the snowstorm. So, and neither one of us have worked together on incalmo, but we're going to give it a shot and let you see how it goes. Okay, so Foster's taking his first gather, then he'll come over and pick up the Celadon color. While he does this, I'm going to step back a little bit so you can see off the edge of the view what we call the garage. And this right here is actually pretty good use for, well named as a garage, because we're going to park some of the glass in there later on. So Foster is he's going to take a couple of gathers here before he picks up his frit. So he's shaping that with the wooden block to stabilize the outside surface. The inside will still be hot. He'll begin to get a bubble going, and then he'll take another gather. After Foster forms this cup and opens it up, we'll transfer it to a punty. We're going to put it in the garage and let it stay warm while he works on the rest of it. So right now he's got the bubble being established. We'll step up to see that just a little bit better there. Yeah, and that's from the pressurized air in the blowpipe. It seeks equilibrium with the rest of the atmosphere. It's got nowhere to go but into that hot glass. Now after the glass cools off a good bit, we certainly wouldn't be able to keep it blowing. Now he's just stabilizing it so he can take his second gather, and then he'll be going in for frit. Hello, Kristen. Welcome aboard. Oh my goodness, we're up to 41 people already. Hey, that's great. Well, welcome aboard, all of you. So maybe some of you were with us on Saturday when we did that special episode on YouTube where we were invited by the Woodworkers Consortium. Was it Brian Ritter that put us in touch with them, Foster?
I'm sorry?
Was it Brian Ritter that put us in touch with the Wood? Yeah, okay, so Brian Ritter's been around for a while. He's been on these broadcasts. He knew some folks that were doing some woodworking videos, and they just decided to expand their repertoire and ask other artists to come in and demonstrate. So last Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern time, we went on and shared with them the glass blowing process for an hour. So if you have a chance, check out our YouTube video there, our YouTube channel. And as we say every week, be sure to share, comment, and like. So I'm not sure where we stand on the free piece from last week or what we're going to do next week, because as we said at the outset, we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants. It's just Foster and me in here today, and Theta's on the computer. So here we are, and if for some reason we don't get around to identifying the giveaways, rest assured it will be done, and somebody has got the one from last week, and we'll pick a piece for next week in a little bit. But right now, the more interesting thing is Foster has gathered the frit on the outside of the clear glass. He's shaping it now, and then he's going to blow it out, and he's going to form this into a shape of a cup eventually. And then that's what will be transferred to a punty and laid up in the garage to stay warm while he does the rest of the piece. Well, Joanna, we're happy to be doing the live stream. We really enjoy it. We have some fun with it. And all right, so now he's into the optic mold, and he's going to blow and get those more intense ridges in it. Sharon, I don't really have any volume control. I know that because I'm half deaf, everybody tells me I talk too loud anyway, but I'm hoping the volume is on your end. At any rate, here comes Foster, and now by turning in one direction, oh my goodness, look at that, folks, he's going widdershins. Or as Foster said after his UK training days, anti-clockwise. Alrighty. So, he's got that in there. That's going to be a nice design element there. Okay. Thank you all for letting us know that the volume's okay. And away we go. What you need, buddy?
I'm just trying to figure out if this is the top or the bottom.
That is the bottom.
This is the bottom.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's going to get blown into a cup with a jack line. We'll putty it up, open it, measure the diameter, and put it in the garage. So he's getting more twist on it. So if you're joining us late, it's just me and Foster in here, just like it was a couple of months ago. And in spite of the fact that we've never done this before together, we're going to give you an introduction to incalmo. And then we'll probably run some more of it next week when Josh and Todd are back to show you a better way. For want of, I don't know that it's any different than what we're doing. It's just that they have a little more experience with it.
Your experience level is pretty terrific, Bruce.
Okay, so remember to like, share, and comment. If you see any of the pieces, and we will go back to the display a little bit later. Joyce Ferguson says, Josh couldn't make it. I'm here for you guys. Thank you, dear. Okay, so we'll show you some of the pieces in the display area. If there's anything you see there you'd like to purchase, let us know. You can go online. You can do it here on the comment section. Get in touch with Theta. Okay, so now Foster is letting gravity shape that a little bit, and now he's going to blow it out some and form his cup. Okay.
Cut the neckline.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we want to cut a neckline in this so that we can separate it from the blowpipe. And then when we put it onto a punty, then we will turn the piece and open it so it looks more or less like a straight-sided cylinder or straight-sided cup. We'll take a measure with the calipers so that we can mate the next piece to it. And Foster is now cutting the jack line. And this will be the point of separation from the pipe. Okay, so a little bit of air is going to round it out more. Let's take there's a really great look at a sphere with a jack line in it. So when Foster's ready, we'll go with a transfer to the punty iron. And then once it's transferred to the punty, he will open up the lip of it and then check that diameter so we can make the two cups made up as far as size goes. The marver chills and shapes the glass, chills the side a little bit there, and tapers it down some. You can do this so that you can get. How much pressure does it require to create the jack line? Good question, Kate. If the glass is cold, you can't do it. If the glass is moderately warm, a heck of a lot of squeezing. But if the glass is really hot, it's a piece of cake. It's like a knife through butter. And that, yes, Theta is riding herd on the two of us and the cats. So Foster's hanging the piece up there in the yard arm, or yoke if you will, and he'll make the punty now, and then he'll put the piece onto the bench rails and do the transfer. Make it a vase, Romero.
Here you go.
Okay. So he's going to put the piece on the bench rails, and we have stops at the end of the bench to keep it from rolling off. He'll attach the punty to the center of the bottom of that cup. Just making sure it's aligned. And then after he gets that on there, he'll roll both pipes down the bench toward the water buckets back there behind. Because he doesn't have the long arm of the law on his side. He's going to cut a little bit of a jack line in that putty so he can break it free later. And then he'll probably put a drop of water onto the neck. There he goes with the long arm of Foster. He'll tap the pipe. He'll put more water on. Okay, here, I'll flash. I got this pipe. Okay, so it didn't quite stick, so I got the piece in my hand here. Foster's going back. Sorry if it's a little too bright there today, or right now. Trying to hold the camera and get the piece on here. You probably don't need that jack line on the putty, Foster. We can heat that and shear it off after we're joined. You ready for me to go back? Yes. Okay. So now you're getting to hear the glass blower communication, as in, what in the heck is going on here? Okay, so now he's going to set that up, punting on the piece. So, what happened there was the piece cooled off a little too much and the putty didn't hold. But now with more heat in it, right, I got this, off it comes perfectly. Ta-da! Okay, so there's a really good lesson in glass blowing right there. If it doesn't look like it's going to work, you don't just keep pounding away at it. The piece could have wound up on the floor. I went back and reheated the piece for him. He reformed the putty, and now we've got a perfect transfer. And what we'll do here now is he will open up the lip of that to whatever diameter he chooses. And I'm going to go get another pair of calipers here for him in just a moment, because it's important to measure the opening of this. But you know what? Before we do that, I'm going to grab the paddle, because we want that lip to be thick. So by using a paddle on the lip as he uses the jacks, we can keep that glass thickening. So he'll get it centered and start to open. And we'll do more paddling as he comes along. And what I realized when we did the YouTube video a little while ago is with me paddling like that, you get a bird's eye view of what it's like to assist in glass blowing. Where is Bernie Sanders seated? Okay, good point. All right, so for those of you just joining us, Josh and Todd didn't make it in today. Foster and I are here doing the old guy thing again. We've never done this together before, so we're going to talk ourselves through it, or talk ourselves out of it. How about we talk ourselves out of it and go get a cold beer? I'm kidding. Okay, so now he's going to open.
Over the top.
And I'm going to go over the top of his blades. And here's a view. I think they call it POV on videos. Like you're right there for it. There's your point of view. You are holding the paddle. Okay. Then he's going to keep opening that and thickening the end. While he's doing that, I'm going to go down and grab him a pair of calipers. So, it's going down here. Okay, so
if I go across the marble,
yeah,
would you use the paddle?
Yes, I will. So here's another technique we can use to paddle the end of it and straighten it rather than using, whoops, drop the calipers. You're going to get some funny shots today as we have to bend over and pick up stuff that we dropped, but not to worry. He's going to roll on the marver, and you, dear reader or observer, now he's going to want to get that opened up before it touches. So one option he has is to roll it on the marver like that to decrease the diameter. Another thing he can do is he can take the jacks over the outside of the piece and decrease the diameter. So as you saw, rolling on the marver, it kind of took it out around.
just to make it thicker.
There we go. All righty. And now what he can do is take it back to the glory hole, heat it, and continue to make it round.
Okay, I'll use the jacks from here.
And he'll be using the jacks this time. You and I will help him with the paddle. So this is pretty cool, Foster. I mean, if you hold the camera right, it looks like the viewer is pushing the paddle. Yeah,
right there.
Pretty cool. I'm easily attracted by bright lights and loud noises. It's the simple things in life.
Over the top. And underneath.
So when he says over and under, he's putting the jacks in a different position. When he has the jacks at the top of the piece, our paddle blade goes under his jacks to keep from pushing them off the piece. When he's down at the lower portion of the piece, he's going to do that once more just to round it out a little bit. When he says put your paddle over my jacks, he's going to have the jacks on the lower portion of the piece, and we put the paddle on top so that we don't interfere with the jacks. So he's going to get that lip and that upper inch or so nice and warm so they can then come back and get it round and straight. Virtual glass blowing. Yep, that's right, David.
I'm going to do one more on the marver.
Okay. So he's going to go to the marver again. Now the trick when you're doing the marver to straighten the sides and keep things round is a nice light touch. The glass is very soft when it comes out and it's extremely hot. So you'll notice he uses a nice light touch as he comes down. And I'm just paddling the end of it for him. And he's really not putting a great deal of pressure on that. Because if he did, the momentary pauses when he changed direction would cause it to flatten out. That's where most of our beginning students, whoa, we're on the floor with one. Okay. Okay.
Start over again.
Amen.
All right.
Okay. So what happened there was the punny got a little cold and decided to let go. So there you go. So it happened, and we're off to the races for another one here. So let's just take a quick look at some of this down here. So you can see that beautiful pattern with that celadon color in there, and we'll just go at it again.
So, all right.
Okay.
Well, another floor model.
Another floor model.
And we can recover that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I learned a lot from that piece.
Cool.
So we're learning each and every piece.
Yep, there you go.
What it's all about.
Yeah, so that's part of what we're doing, talking to each other about what's next, what's going on, what are we going to do. Let's do the punny this way, let's do the punny that way. Will you recycle the pieces? Those we want, well actually someone else does. Foster has a place that he can take the colored glass and it is recycled and taken care of. We recycle any clear cast-offs here in the form of putting them into the furnace and remelting. When we melt the batch, we call it, in addition to the powdery substance we put in there, we use about, what, 15%? 10% glass, 10% by weight. So if we're putting in 100 pounds, 10 pounds of clear. And that would be clear cullet. So while he's doing that, I'll show you our cullet buckets. So we get a lot of clear glass that breaks off. And here's a bucket full of it right there. So that'll get weighed out probably into about 5-pound bags. That way we don't have to go making 100 or anything like that. And off we go. Okay. So Foster again is going to take his couple of gathers. gives me a chance to look for my hat. Oh, I already got it, Romero. I'm wearing it. And yeah, the stupid glass was a line that Michael Herman used to use all the time. And actually, it's a really good attitude to have about working the glass, because it's going to go south quite a bit when you first start, and even some later on. So no, Jen, we're not going to do the trick where we walk on glass barefooted. Not going to go there. I don't even want to put my hands down on the floor. In fact, when we're wearing shorts in the summertime and have to kneel down on the floor for any reason, I throw a sweatshirt or a pair of gloves on the floor to kneel on, because there's glass particles all over this place. The cats, though, they don't seem to mind. All right, so Foster's got his gather of clear. For those of you that have just joined us, I'm Bruce. This is Foster. You're watching work, and we're alone in the studio portion today. Theta is playing the Wizard of Oz part behind the curtain, running the show from the computer, and that's probably the best place to be today. Unfortunately, Josh and Todd couldn't make it today, but we decided to go ahead with trying to show you some incalmo. And perhaps next week we'll have them in here and they can show you what we really intended today. But we're going to have some fun doing it in the meantime.
And for those people who are not on the East Coast, this is why it's you and I, because of this storm, which has pretty much shut everything down.
Okay, so Foster's getting his glass gathered up, shaping his gather a little bit, and he's going to blow it out some in a moment. Oh, we got to hear kitty kitty. What are you making? I saw the garage is hot. Yes, Ted, we are trying incalmo, Foster and I. So it's going to be a fun session today. Right now he's going into the optic mold, going to put some ridges in it. It's spitting just a little bit of snow right now, Sharon. Not much. I think the most of the snowfall is over. Are we gonna go Widdershins again?
We are.
We are. I think that's my new favorite word. The substitute for anti-clockwise. All right. So by leaving the piece in one place on the marver and turning one direction only, the friction against the metal tabletop twists the glass. This is going to be the lower half. Yes, I can explain the incalmo just a bit here, Bridget. In fact, I'm just starting into it. This is going to be the lower half of the vessel. We're going to make 2 cups. Foster's making the first one right now. So what he's going to do now, he's cutting a line with the jacks so he can grab it with a pair of shears and continue the twist. And I'll find a convenient spot to go down and show you all another sample of incalmo. By putting the piece right there and twisting away from himself, he continues. There he goes, perfect twist on it, and that little ball just goes away. So now he'll be reheating and shaping, and this will be the lower cup. So we'll take a quick diversion down here, and I'm going to show you a few of the incalmo pieces. And this is the simplest example we have on display today. The white bottom, the blue top. What Foster's making right now in Celadon is the lower bowl, the lower portion there, what's white in this one. We'll put that away in our garage. I'll show you that in a moment. And then the blue top, which in this case is going to be a sky blue, I believe, will be made, and then the 2 cups join. Other examples of incalmo, here's one with the chalcedony look and a blue rim on it. Here's one that Todd did a while back, a triple incalmo, the Celadon middle, the trail with clear in the band in between the colors, and then pink on the outside. Here's a sample one I did years ago. We've got red with some twisted cane inside, a purple, and a gold band. So that's what we're headed toward. Actually, what we're headed toward is the garage right there. And that's where this cup that Foster's making is going to go. What's the purpose of breaking the small piece off the bottom? That was done because Foster needed to continue the twist to the bottom. When we twist on the Marver, it does not go all the way to the tip. So by cutting a little ball with his jack blades, he has a place to grip and force it to twist all the way to the bottom. When he gets that twist done though, he's got that little knob of glass sticking down there, which is really no good for anything. So what he does at that point is just chop it off, and there it is laying on the floor, turning ever more celadon right before our eyes. So he's in the process now of forming the sphere with the jack line. In a few moments, we'll put a punty on it. And then once we do that, you ready? Okay. I'll give that a flash before you get going. Okay, so the camera work's going to get a little funky here because I'm going to be flashing this piece for you while he makes his putty. Might make it just a little bit wider this time because we can always peel it off later.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've heated up the piece. Sorry you had to look off to the west coast or wherever it was pointed. All right, so now I'm back at the bench. I've got the iron on the bench for him, and he's going to attach the punty. Then he's going to roll both pipes down the bench, get it centered, and then he's going to chill the neckline with water, and he's going to tap the pipe. I'll catch the rolling blowpipe. We'll just let it roll all the way to the end. Give it another water and I'll hold the joint. Okay. There we go. Let it go. I got this. Okay, so what we did there, a little bit of difficulty with getting the piece to break off the blowpipe. And what we absolutely have to do is get it off of the blowpipe before the punty gets too cold, because if we break the punty and the neckline at the same time, you can guess where the piece goes. Floor model. Okay, so what I did with that pair of jacks was to squeeze the jack line. It also served to stop the vibration. When Foster was hitting the pipe, the vibration runs down into the piece. By holding the jacks against the neckline, I stopped the vibration from going any further. It would not go down into the bottom of the piece where the punty was attached. I'm going to let him open this up a little bit, and then I'll grab the paddle and we'll help thicken it. So that's why we had the use of the metal jacks into the groove. And that's really helpful because it isolates the vibration. The glass breaks because of vibration. If it's equally weak at 2 points, it will break in 2 points. And if it's completely unsupported by anything, we either have to get our anti-gravity belts or we lose them. Okay, so now he's heating it up. He's going to have to heat that lip area, and he's just going to gradually open that. He doesn't want this diameter any bigger than the widest part of the piece as it is now.
I'm going to go over the top.
When he's on the bottom of the piece, we go on the top.
Push.
And this is our virtual performance here. You feel like you're holding the paddle, folks? There we go. Okay, so he's going to take another heat. We're going to get that all shaped up and ready to go. So when he heats primarily the lip of that, it thickens that glass. And by using the paddle on that lip also, it helps to thicken it. And this is going to give us a more solid structure when we join the two bubbles. So right now, he's getting the heat in it, and he'll use his jacks to manipulate it. We can see where the heat is by the color. So I'm going, you and I, you're holding the paddle too. We're going to go above his blades and see how he's opening it. That's good. And now, okay, there we go. Good deal. Yes, sir, we'll be able to take that off. Do you want it to open any further or not? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to give that just a moment to cool off a little bit, and Foster is going to use the calipers to check the diameter where it will join, because it'll be real important to have his next piece the same diameter. Okay, so I picked a pair of calipers that would hold their measurement, because I quite often drop them and it changes. So he's having to really work this thing. The screw on these things is turned down really tight. But he'll get that measurement. Okay, and now he'll take it over to the garage. We take a little flash first. He'll take it over to the garage and put it in there on the far side. The garage is a little, the burner for the garage is on the left side. I'll show you all that in just a minute. We'll walk over with it.
I just back that dimension up with these.
Okay, he's going to take another measurement. So we'll go on over here. The burner tip is on the left side of the garage. So the left side of the garage is actually hotter than the right. So he's going to put that pipe up in here, and it's going to rest on this rail and be suspended right out there in the heat. Okay, so that's perfect, just like that. And you and I, folks, are going to come back every once in a while and check to see that it hasn't fallen way off center. Yeah, it really is. It really does look like a two-car garage. Maybe we could get some Hot Wheels and take them in and out of the garage. Ooh, that was a bad one. Okay, so anyway, we got this cup warming. Foster has made the Celadon, which will be the bottom of his vessel. What do we choose for the top? The sky blue?
We're going to use the sky blue.
Okay, he's going to use this blue for the top of his vessel. All right, so now his goal is to make another cup with the other color, and it will have the end of the bubble opened up to this same diameter. He's got his measurements over there on the calipers, and then you'll be in for a real treat, because we'll join these two cups together, and never having done that before together, it should be a real adventure. But hey, Brian Ritter, welcome, and thank you for the contact with the folks at the woodworking show. You know, we get tied up in this, and I'm explaining things, and I forget to go talk about the stuff I'm supposed to talk about, which is showing you glass you might want to buy, or telling you to comment so you can get entered into free drawings or anything like that. But anyway, Brian Ritter, who has just joined us, recommended to a group of woodworkers, kind of a woodworkers consortium, if you will, that if they wanted to expand the different crafts that they were showing, he knew some glass blowers, and we got invited last week to participate. And interestingly enough, there's a worldwide audience. We had folks from Guam, Northern Ireland, the UK, we were all over Scotland and England, we had Germany, I don't even know where else, because the comments were running fast and furious across the screen. At any rate, thank you, Brian, for hooking us up with those folks. And if any of you would like to see that, it's on our YouTube channel, and it'll say Virtual Craft Festival, I believe. So it's really pretty cool. Okay, so now Foster's working on his second bubble cup, if you will. So he's going to take this, block it up, get some air started in it, and then he'll take another gather and he'll grab the sky blue color, which will go with his Celadon. While he's doing that, you folks, all 40 of you, need to come over here with me for a moment and check and make sure the piece hasn't fallen. So what we can do, or what I can help you do, is turn it. And if it doesn't look like it's turning off center, it hasn't fallen any. So we're doing okay. You've done well, audience. Okay, so Foster's putting the bubble down in that. For those of you that joined us a little late, we'll show you a little bit of incalmo, explain some more about the process, and also show off some of the pieces we've made. This is the simplest version, 2 cups of different colors put together. The Celadon that Foster already put in the garage is taking the place of the white. The robin's egg blue that he has now, or sky blue, is taking the place of that transparent blue on the top. But you can see that 2 cups have been joined together, or 2 pieces of glass, and then expanded into that shape, okay? Stay in the red one this time. Oh, the other, okay, the other incalmo. All right, so there's your simplest iteration, if you will. This is another 2-piece incalmo. It's got the chalcedony in the central portion of the vessel, and then a blue ring around the top, which was the incalmo added. This is one that Todd made some time back, a beautiful 3-piece incalmo, where he's got the Celadon center. He's got a beautiful kind of ragged trail around it in clear glass right in that center band, and then pink on the outside, okay? And this is the one, I think it was Judy said, stay in the red one a little longer. I got to get back to Foster in a minute, but anyway, this one I did a few years back. It's got a red base on it with cane in it that is swirled, and then a band of purple and a band of gold. So that's a triple incalmo. And we'll take a quick look. Foster is still working beautifully down there on his second cup. So we got just enough time to tell you about the really funky stuff you can do with incalmos. This piece here and this piece here are what's called twisted or reversed axis. The whole assembly of 2 cups is rotated along its length, so that instead of being 1 cup above the other like this, they come out side by side. In this case it was pink and teal, and then by twisting it and moving it, then you can have that design. Here's another one that had a very dense cup of gold, and then a light covering of trail. The 2 were joined, but instead of being one above the other, they're side by side and actually set off center a little bit. So that's what incalmo is all about. So if you come back next week to see Josh and Todd do this, you might see some of that. But Foster and I are having some fun. And while we did that, we got to make sure that our cup did not go off center. Now, if you look very carefully at that while I turn it slowly, you'll see that it actually has a high spot in the rotation. So I'm going to bring that high spot up and just let it rest there. It's not very hot, but it's just hot enough to move. So his previous twist was Witterson's. This time it's clockwise. So he'll have opposing twists on the 2 cups. Okay. So he's going to do the same thing here, but he's not going to cut a jack line in it. He's simply going to blow the bubble toward the bottom, or cut off the bottom. He wants to open the tip of this bubble to the same diameter of the cup that's in the garage. And then the cup that's in the garage will join to this one. So he's getting his twist done. One of you asked a little earlier about why did he cut off a piece of the glass. Okay, so now he's going to work on this to open the end of it. Do you want me to get the hand torch or anything to heat the tip, or are you going to just cut it off to open the tip?
I think I'll just open it up to take it. I'm sorry, make a button to take it off.
Oh, okay. So what we're discussing is, like I said, we haven't done this before together, so I want to know what's coming up and what he needs. What he's going to do here is work toward opening the tip so that the piece is all open on the end. And he'll probably pull that out a little bit as it's compressing toward the piece. And then what he'll do is another jack line, and then we'll tap that off. If he needs to, he'll take another heat on it. And what I'm going to do is grab the tweezers for him. He's ready. And I do that, and there we go. Okay, so now what he's got to do is heat that up. So Foster, did it open?
No.
No? Okay.
So I'll use the pincers to open.
Okay, you want me to use the torch on it to heat it even more?
Yeah, let's
okay.
do that.
So we have a technique we use.
Bruce.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting a torch. Okay, I see it. I'm coming over here, making sure that our cup didn't fall. So what we're going to do is Foster's going to come back to the bench, and I'm going to use this MAP gas torch to heat the end of it. It didn't quite open all the way. So he's not going to really do much of anything but just sit there and turn the pipe while I superheat the end of it. And once this gets super hot, he's going to put his tweezer blades in together and let them spring apart. Maybe another 10 seconds. See how it's glowing yellow, everybody? Okay, so now he's going to put his tweezer blades into it and let them spring apart. Okay, a little more heat.
Yeah.
Maybe a flash.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Okay. So when he knocked that little nub off the end of it, what happened was it didn't quite open it. So what we're going to try to do right now is like superheat the very tip of it, not the rest of the vessel. We only want to superheat the tip. And so he'll be bringing it back in just a moment, and I will use this torch, and he's just going to use... So the way the tweezer action works is he puts the tweezer blades together, sticks them in where he wants the hole to be, and then lets them spring apart. So we're going to get this super hot. And he lets the blades spring apart over and over. See how it's spreading? That spreads it. Okay. And the other thing we can do is even torch it while it expands from his breath. So maybe we'll try that, Foster, on the next one. You want to try that?
Yeah.
Take a quick reheat. Maybe if you go to the far end of the bench,
Okay.
I'll torch and you just wait till it's hot and then blow, and we'll pop that bubble right on through. Okay, so all he's doing is trying to get enough heat in it that it doesn't crack, okay? And what he's going to do is he's going to take his place at the far end of the bench. And he's got better knees than I do, so he's going to bend down a little bit, but he's going to wait to blow. So you and I are going to watch this get super hot. Blow, and there was the pop. Okay, now take a quick heat just on the tip, he will, and then he'll be able to use his jacks to open it. If we need to, we'll shear it, maybe not, okay? So, there we go. Where there's a will, there's a way. He opens that up a little bit.
I'm gonna go get my shears.
I'll get them for you. You go ahead and check your heat. You want your straights, the red handle?
Yes, please.
Okay. That's what a good assistant is for. What do you want, Mr. Benny? And who was the character that said that, folks? Who was the character? Yes, Mr. Benny. Okay, so what he's going to do is open it up just a little bit, and then he's going to use those shears to cut further back into the glass. And it's very thin, so it's going to want to cool off, and there we go. Come on, folks, it's the name of the city in New York.
Right.
Yeah, Barbara got it. Okay, now everybody's coming up with Rochester. So once again, Foster is going to heat the end of that. He doesn't want the whole vessel to get wider. It's probably already about the diameter of what he wants. But by heating just the outer inch or so of that, he'll be able to open it into a nice straight line and set it with his calipers. But you and I have been negligent, folks. Ah, you see how that's moving like on an eccentric as I turn it? Well, let's just bring the high side up and let it fall for a moment. And that's basically what centering is all about. If we take the high side or wide side up and let gravity bring it back in line, we get the piece well centered. Centering is actually one of the hardest skills to learn in glass blowing and keeping it under control. When this stuff gets all hot and gooey, it's sometimes quite an adventure to just keep it under control. So Foster again is heating the tip. He's got a couple of calipers up there to check his measurement, but first he's going to work on the flattening of the lip and the straightening of the side. You can see the cup forming. See, it's just like virtual glass blowing. You're sitting here holding the paddle while he straightens the sides. And that's really nice. Okay, great. What? I missed what that white brick box is for. That's our garage. And he's going to take the calipers and check his setting.
Need to open it up a little bit.
Okay, so he needs to open it. Foster, I'm going to put the calipers on the bench, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to set the calipers on the bench right here for him. Now I give him a nice, convenient place to open it up. And for whomever it was that asked about the big box, this is a garage. It even looks like a two-car garage. But actually, it's for parking the glass and keeping it warm. It's running right now at about 1,000 degrees, which is pretty warm. It's hot on the left side where the flame is. This side over here is a little bit cooler. We've kept that piece in there for quite a while now. A little more? Okay. So now we're getting into the dicey part, folks. This is going to be fun. You're going to enjoy it, and so are we. So Foster's going to get this cup set to the right diameter, and then the other cup is going to get reheated so that it can be joined to this cup that he's making right now. And that's how we do an incalmo. So he needed a little bit more on his calipers, so he's going to use the jacks on the bottom. So we're going to put our paddle on the top just to keep the lip thick. He'll check his measurement.
I think we're good.
Think we're good? Okay, cool.
Yeah, let's do it.
And if we're off a little bit, we can always, with heat, straighten it out some. So, watch your back.
Just
Okay,
fresh.
all righty. So I'm going to get this torch out of the way. We're going to come over here and check out the lower cup. Okay. Yeah, Joanna, we can't wait to see this either. So, as I said, you know what they do in surgery? Is they have a pause for the cause, and they talk about what they're going to do. And that's what we're going to do, is we're going to take a time out. Now, I have the piece in one hand and the camera in the other. Foster is going to move the cup from the right side to the left side, close to the flame, and get it a little hotter. What I'm going to do is heat the piece just a little bit, but not so much that it cracks. When he's ready, Foster is going to charge on over to the glory hole and put it into the heat. And he's going to give it flashes, and he's going to warm that up. And I'm going to go down here to this other glory hole. Bet you didn't count on this today, huh? All righty. Josh and Todd are missing in action, so Foster and I are playing the game. So I'm going to use this glory hole to heat this up a little bit. You good on that? Okay, so we're going to go back and review with you what's going on, okay? So I have the piece here. Foster's just heating the lip of the piece, and he's not going to get it real hot. I'll be sitting at the bench, right? You'll join it?
Yes.
Okay, so Foster's going to come out a moment. I'm going to flash this. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to go sit at the bench. You want to do it like this?
Either
You want to join it from outside the bench? You standing outside?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so this piece is hot enough. I'm going to bring it over here, try to sit at the bench, control the pipe with one hand and let you get a bird's eye view. Foster's going to come over, grab his diamond shears, and he's going to approach from the bottom. He's going to use the diamond shears to hold the piece, and he'll flip it if he needs to. He'll join the bottom edge of the cup and then raise it up to touch, and then he'll turn both irons, and then he will start clamping on the puntee, and then he's going to tap the pipe and it's going to come off. Hold on, I'll put water on it. Keep it turning, please. I got a little bit of water on the puntee here. Foster's going to clamp. It came right off. Okay, there we go. Foster, you want to grab this? I'm one hand short with this camera. Okay, Foster's going in the heat. There we go. Good deal. Yeah, perfect docking. Okay, so now you can see that the lower cup was a little bit wider than the top, but Foster can solve that very easily by going to the marver and with his hands at kind of a low angle on the edge, he'll bring that down to where they're both the same diameter, and then we can go on from there. But we got through that part of it, so even if it all falls apart, you've seen what incalmo's all about. Okay, so Foster's going to go to the marver with that, and he's going to concentrate on marvering that joint line. You can see how the lower cup, so you might want to lower his hands a little bit so that he see how the middle's coming right down there. Okay, now you can see that working out beautifully. Now he can go ahead and heat the whole thing up and marver it together. Excellent. Way to go. All right, so by getting that seam tighter and tighter, if he you're going to gather over it, right?
Yes.
When he gathers over it, it will not trap air bubbles. If he's got that crease in there, when he gathers, it could trap air bubbles. So we're going to have a couple of ways to do this. One way he's going to do it is he's going to use the marver. He'll also use a block. And then eventually what we'll probably do is I'll grab my blow hose, and while he's blocking, I'll blow in his blowpipe to inflate it against the block. What do you think of that?
Say that again.
Go ahead and seal your joint, and I'll so by using this block, you can still see a little bit of the seam. So Foster, what I'm suggesting is that you take another good heat, and while you're in that number 3 block, I'll hook up my blow hose and blow gently to force the glass against the block to push that seam out, okay?
That works.
Okay, so that's what it's all about, especially, as I've said probably 100 times too many, we've never done this before together, but we're certainly willing to give it a try.
Yeah, we're working it out.
So, while Foster heats that up, he's going to come back and he's going to put that number 3 block on, and I'm going to take this end of my blow hose and put it over the mouthpiece. And then while he's blocking and holding the glass in with the block, I'll actually blow, and that will expand it. So I'm pushing this on here now, Foster. I don't want to interrupt. Okay. So I got this in, where is it? In my mouth. Ready?
Yep. Oh yeah, there you go.
Okay, that's all we need.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me unhook here, Foster. Okay. All right, hey Michael, welcome aboard, buddy. It's just the old guys today. It's the oops, we did it again show. Todd and Josh are missing, and Foster and I are learning incalmo together. So now you folks can see that he's got a nice tight seam in that. I'm going to slow the roll just a little bit. So that's what my blowing into the blow hose while he used the block did. It created a really nice seam on there. So in just a moment or two, he's going to gather over that. Would you like a number 4 block?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Okay,
Yes,
got
please.
one right here. That's the hallmark of a good assistant. Okay, there we go. We got the larger block for him. And what he's going to do now is take a gather. He'll probably strip some of it off.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe even a lot of it, who knows. But it is beautiful. Let's get another look at that. That is truly marvelous. Okay. All right, beautiful seam on there. Okay, so what's the purpose of the newspaper? To cool the glass. Folded up newspaper soaked in water but not drenched in it forms a perfect insulator. Foster's going to gather over that, cover it up over the blowpipe a little bit. He'll strip off whatever is excess, and then he'll begin to block it into shape so that he can make a vessel. I'll get the door. You got it? Okay. He's stripping it off into the bucket right now. That glass will be reused when we melt cullet later on. He's coming back to the bench now. I'm going to take this number 4 block out and set it up here so he can grab it easily. And he'll block the piece. So the core of that was a little cool. Had to be when we gather, or else it would collapse. But now he's got unequal temperatures, uneven temperatures between the inside and the outside. The outside has that hot, fresh 2,000 degree glass. So what he's going to do now is go reheat that and equalize the temperatures throughout. So from here on, it's pretty much like making whatever kind of vessel you want. So, Foster, what kind of vessel are you making?
Well, why don't we make a bowl?
Why don't we make a bowl? That's great. Actually, I think the bowls are really good with the incalmo. So you're going to block again?
No, I'm going to go ahead and start using the marvering table.
Okay. Well, I'll get this torch off of the table. And I think we got him plenty of room up here. He doesn't need these calipers anymore. Get them out of the way. And now he's going to come back to the marver and gently begin to shape the vessel. By cooling the tip, whoops, sorry about the camera angle there, folks. By cooling the tip, he reduces the heat in that area so that when he does blow it out, that does not expand so much. He wants to keep that thick. Yeah, there's more than size 5 blocks. You can get them probably as big as a basketball. But you can see what that cooling did. It kept the tip in a conical shape and expanded the piece in the middle. So since this is going to be a bowl, he's not going to swing it out. He's going to keep a compact form, and he's going to cut a jack line in it, because we don't want a bowl with a pipe attached to it. So the glass radiates a lot of heat. So you and I, dear listener, are shielding his arm while he cuts the jack line.
Excellent.
Okay. And he probably didn't really need that, but it's nice to have because the glass does radiate a lot of heat. He's going to blow it out a little bit, and he's going to keep going with this. Now, when he gets to the diameter he wants, you can see where the joint line is right now. This would be just about a midstream in the bowl. Okay, he's got the door. So whenever he gets this to the size that he wants, diameter and length, then that's when he'll flatten the bottom and we'll put a putty on it. Do you think you're going to want a cheater?
I don't believe I'm
Okay, good enough. See, it's important to ask these things now so we could put a pipe up to be warming up so he doesn't get to the end or the critical point and say, "Where's my cheater, Bruce?" Okay. So a little bit of cooling action, which can be done either with the marver or the newspaper. Okay. And now he's going to blow it out, and you'll see that conical shape remains in the bottom a little more, and then he blows it out and it expands at the middle. There we go. Now, it's kind of important to have a little bit more glass in the bottom than the top. You want one up there?
Yeah, it's just for
Okay.
SUVs.
Okay, so we got an iron up there for a cheater. Okay, so anyway, the lower section is helpful to be a little bit larger than the upper section if you want them to look equal on the finished bolt, because we're going to lose a good bit of the real estate when he flattens the bottom. You can see the twist in the glass there. And right now the papering is going to chill it in there. Now he's going to blow it out just a little bit. One cheater. Okay, so he's going to blow it a little bit. Okay, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, folks, this is going to be a real treat. With one hand on the camera and one hand on a pipe. I have no idea if this is going to work. I'm going to gather glass, more than I need, take it out, keep it turning, bring it to Foster, and he's going to put it on the bottom and trail it off, and it burns right off, and now he flattens it. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Very cool. Very nice.
I can't believe that.
You're awesome, man.
Okay, so now he's going to heat the bottom up. We've got that button, so he doesn't need to get this real hot or the whole thing's going to collapse, okay? So what he's going to do is put a minimal amount of heat in it so he can very gently flatten the center of the bottom. If he pushes across that whole surface, it's going to look like a Hershey Kiss. So by concentrating the flattening right there in the middle, see how he maintains the curvature to the bottom? Beautiful. There we go. Yes, sir. Okay. So he's going to give it another flash, and then in a moment, we're going to go one-handed again with me, but it's not going to be as hard as gathering. Foster is taking his flash. Are you ready to punty? Yes, he is. Okay. He's going to go and gather the punty. In a moment, I'll take the piece off the yard arm, give it a quick flash in the glory hole, and then he will come back over and make his attachment. So, here we go. There's your right hand. Pick it up, bring the pipe over, lay it onto the yoke, and a flash. I'm coming to the bench, Foster. I'm just letting him know because I'm not looking at him. All right, so now we're down here turning the pipe till he makes the attachment. Then we're going to let go. And we're also going to grab that pair of jacks again, just like we did on the other cup, in case he needs it. Just be ready, okay? So, you want me to grab it when you're ready? He's going to put one more drop on, and then we're going to get this thing. Okay, I'm going to squeeze the jack line. He's going to hit the pipe. Hit it again. Okay, just turn. I got the shears. All right, hold on. Turn, open, turn to open. Yes, there we go. Got it. All righty. There we go. Where there's a will, there's a way. Ta-da! I told you you guys were in for a treat today. Okay, so there was a case that if we just banged on it too much, the punty would have gotten cold enough that it would have fallen off the punty. And since it was breaking at the neck anyway, it would have been a floor model. So by Foster adeptly turning it around to where I could put a pair of shears in there and cut it, we've saved the piece. It's not what you can make, it's what you can fix. Okay, so that was cold enough to fracture. It's going to take a little while to reheat the top. During this reheating process, I'm going to go show you what we're making, or give you some samples of it, because I keep getting distracted by the glass blowing. Okay. We're making incalmo today. Josh and Todd were supposed to be making incalmo today, but they couldn't make it in, so what the heck. Foster and I are doing it. And these are samples of incalmo. I'm sure we'll do it next week when the guys can come in and make some of these bigger pieces for you. But here's a simple example of incalmo. This is basically what we're doing right now. Only we have a celadon bottom and a robin's egg blue top. Two bubbles joined together and then opened up, okay? Here's another example, one of mine that is a two-color incalmo, but it's the chalcedony that we've used before. I got a blue top on it, but still two bubbles joined together. Here's a case of three joined together. The central bubble at the bottom was the teal. The striped trail in the middle, which shows a lot of clear, was the second, and then a pink bubble on the outside of that. And in fact, there's even a green lip wrap. Here's one I did a few years ago. It's a triple incalmo. We've got a red bottom, we've got twisted cane in the middle, it's got a purple band and a gold band. But if you really want to get into this stuff, you do what's called switched axis or triple axis, where the pieces are joined side to side instead of top and bottom. So that's what we're doing today. If you liked any of those pieces that you saw on display and you want to buy them, talk to Theta. She's online with us right now, and I'm going to come back over here and see if my man needs any more help with this. Try hands-free iPhone videoing. Well, normally we have enough folks around that I just do nothing but carry the camera around and yammer mindlessly. So Foster's going to open this up into the bowl shape, keep control, and he's shaking his head at me, yes, because I have the paddle. And you, dear listener, are going to help me paddle the piece. So as soon as he comes back to the bench and gets his tools ready, switched axis, Mary Beth Morgan, I'll explain it after we're done. Okay, so you can see the seam in the glass. Foster's going to use his jacks. When he goes on the top of the piece, you and I put the paddle on the bottom of the opening so we don't interfere with his jacks. And he keeps it turning and we keep it straight. And then when he gets that to where he wants, he'll take a reheat and possibly open it even more. Oh yeah, Jennifer, I do admit it. We're having a heck of a lot of fun without the youngsters around. Oh yes, okay. So, what he's grabbing now are the parchofis, the wooden jacks. They have a good bit more stability than the paper pegs that he was using on the earlier on pieces that you may have seen. The paper pegs don't have a lot of stability for moving the glass. The wooden jacks, the parchofis, have the stability, and they don't scar the glass, plus they're a larger surface, okay? They're a wider diameter, so they help him get that thing opened up even better. So I'll stand by. Stand by for news. Okay, so he's going to come back. He's starting to get this bowl opened up. He's on the top. We're going to go on the lower surface. He's straightening the sides. He's looking for where the dip is in it. And he'll push out against the dip gently. Straighten the side. There, yeah. What a beautiful bowl. And you can see what we were talking about earlier, that you need the lower cup a little bit wider because you lose a lot of real estate when you flatten the bottom. There's going to be a lot of this bowl that's on the bottom and you just won't see the color. So by having the size of the cups that he did, he's got that done. Yeah, Joanna, the colors are beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So most of you seem to be commenting. So keep the comments coming because that's what's going to get you entered in the drawing for the free piece. I don't know who won the free piece from last week. We'll talk about that later. I don't even know what the free piece is this week. It may be a mystery when you tune in next week, but we'll give something away. But right now, it's taking every bit of concentration he and I have got to get this done. So,
I'm going to come over the top.
He's going to go over the top, meaning on the outside of the piece, and this straightens the body out some. So we go over the top to straighten, And then if we need any rounding, we go inside. So outside to straighten, inside to round.
Yeah, terrific. Good.
Okay?
All right, I like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Putting it away.
Yeah.
Okay, how do you want to do this?
I'll knock it off into the cradle
And then you'll glove up? Okay. So, where does this style come from? It's well, it's an Italian technique, I believe, that is also used in Scandinavia a lot. And I don't know that anybody can actually claim it. But the incalmo word is kind of an Italian word. So let me get some of these gloves out of the way so he can drop the piece into the cradle. There's 2 insulated gloves for you, sir. So he's going to tap around the punty joint with the butter knife. Then he'll hit the pipe with a hammer handle and he'll keep the bowl close to that cradle. And when he does, it should hop right off the punty. There it goes. Now, pair of gloves, and off to the annealer he goes.
Thank you, Bruce.
So, up he goes. There it is, folks. He's got to get it in the annealer now. And we'll have pictures of that tomorrow. He just set it up there so he could open the door. I could have got that for you, sorry.
That's all right.
Okay, but anyway, that's an insulated top. In it goes. You can see it burned a little mark right there. He'll close the door and it'll be back up to 900 degrees before you know it. Let's hear it for Foster, folks.
Right.
Come on, some hearts, flowers, whatever you got.
There you go.
Yeah,
All right.
okay.
Excellent. Thank
So
you
let's
so
get
much.
back over here and review this stuff a little bit. What we've got going on. I ought to close this glory hole door. So, incalmo is the name of the game today, and I think it was Mary Beth asked, switched what? And so at one point I was talking about a switched axis. So on most of these incalmo bowls that you see, you can see a lower cup, or maybe even 2 lower cups, and a couple of upper cups. They're stacked on top of one another. But by switching the axis, we put the 2 cups beside each other. So imagine, if you can, untwisting the blue and the pink half. Untwist it so the blue is on one side, the pink is on the other. And the way we do that is to, after the cups are joined together, we have a hole on the joint line, and that's where we stick in a blowpipe and break it off of the original blowpipe, okay? So there's one that's pink and teal with the switched axis and then twisted. Here's 2 different treatments of gold color, okay? And the axis has been switched. So this denser color here was 1 cup. This was another cup with a twisted pattern. The 2 cups were joined, one on top of the other, but then on the joint line, a hole was made and a blowpipe put in. So this blowpipe is now 90 degrees to the original blowpipe, and that's what we mean by a switched axis. So that's what that is. Let's see. We've got this beautiful bowl Todd did several years ago. You can see the 3 different cups that were joined together and opened up individually, assembled, and then made into this beautiful ruffled bowl. Here's a bowl that's got the chalcedony lower portion and a blue top. And then here's one that's got a red bottom with cane that's been twisted, and then purple and gold above it. So,
And there's a pipe up for you.
oh my goodness. Okay, so there's, I think that's what we're giving away this week,
That's correct.
but
Yes.
I don't know. Let's ask Theta. Did we have a winner for this week, or will we just announce it later?
We'll have to announce it later.
Okay.
Josh has to come back to
Okay, all right, that's fine. We have a program that actually goes through all the names of people that have commented. and it randomizes things so that we have a drawing. So we'll let you know who won the champagne flute next week or sometime during this week, and then we'll have to pick out a piece in a little while to see about what we're going to do there. Okay. So, yeah, let's see. Well, I'm going to turn the camera over to Foster. What do you think we ought to do? Think we ought to try a switched axis?
A rotated axis?
A rotated axis. You want to try that?
Sure.
What the hell?
Let's do that. So,
Okay. So this is going to take just a moment to get things set. I'm going to get a chunk of white for
yes, you have your chunk of white already set up there.
Sure.
No,
Yeah,
yes, that's correct. All right. Hi, folks. This is Foster. I'm going to be working the camera for you, and we'll work with Bruce, watching Bruce make a rotated axis piece.
You got to say like 100 times, we've never done this before.
This is the old guys having fun edition during the nor'easter snowstorm.
So this is how we take the bar stock and then get a piece that we're going to use for making a piece.
This will make some noise, but this is
So if there's other glass blowers watching this, this is the way we do it. A lot of people will use a sharp knife edge of metal and a hammer and cut the piece off. They don't always get a nice clean cut. They kind of lose some of the glass. A lot of folks will tell you this puts frost on the glass, but actually by the time we get it all heated and done, it's not going to matter.
no, it doesn't.
There we have a piece of white to warm up.
So that lapidary saw, we use water to act as a coolant and a lubricant simultaneously while the piece of colored glass is being cut. Now, this piece will go into our annealing oven, which is running a temperature of 900 degrees Fahrenheit. He'll put it on the inside of this annealing oven to preheat. And after it's absorbed enough heat, we can pick it up on the end of the blowpipe and take it to the glory hole, where we will begin to heat it up. Now, Bruce mentioned the frost that's sometimes residual from the lapidary saw, but by the time it goes into the glory hole and gets heated up or melted on the end of the blowpipe, that frosted surface is frankly no more. So we're going to take a few moments here while Bruce gets set up here at the bench, because I've just finished working.
Here, have that off the back.
Do you want to use?
No, this is the one I have off the back.
That
That's
was
good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Just talking about what we're doing here.
Try to figure out what we're doing.
Yeah. Bruce has his Sophietta. He's got his combination shears. And he's going to go ahead and switch the blow hose.
This is normally Josh's workstation. So anything that I would be using, like put in my mouth, like this Sophietta, I use my own tools on that. And everything else has been all cleaned off and everything. And another thing I do while that color is warming up is I use my pair of shears, because Josh's require a special trick. So if you're watching our students or come by and we're using these on the bench, see See if you can get focused right in there, Foster. There's just a little bit of separation between the two blades as they close. A minuscule gap, okay? And if you use these shears and try to cut, you have a hard time going through it. Josh, however, doesn't, because what he does is apply pressure downward against this blade, pulls up against this blade, and that closes the gap perfectly and snips it right off. I, however, don't always remember that. I'll put your shears back when they're done, Josh. Okay, so.
All these little important tidbits of information.
How about the 14-2?
The 14-2.
Yeah.
Let's. All right, Bruce has asked for the number 14, number 2 size frit. Let's go over here to the back and find that up in the cubbies.
If we don't have it, that's all right. I'll take 13 or 12. It doesn't matter.
It should be here.
That's all right.
There's 13-2.
There's 13-2.
Okay, so we're talking a violet and or a dark violet color. And that surprises me because we do have 14, number 2 size. It's just a matter of... Did you find it? It was right there. All right.
All the time.
Yep.
Hey, come on.
So,
That's what you get with the old guys. Okay, there we go.
sometimes you get a little bit of CRS with the old guys. We all know what the CRS is, don't we? So, Bruce has got himself pretty well settled up. Mary Beth replied to Ted, they used a masonry hammer on Blown Away. Yes, they did. And that's what a lot of studios use. It sometimes, however, creates a bit of extra waste, and we like to control the amount of glass that we have in a little bit more controlled manner.
Oh, I had 2 up there? Okay.
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
All right.
Okay, so now we're getting closer here.
Yeah, we're getting close to doing something. Okay.
Not gonna break it out. Yeah, Judy Fox says she remembered she used to remember what CRS meant. Okay, Bruce, after all this, he's got everything in place. He's taken his heated blowpipe and gotten his first gather or wrap of clear glass on the end of the pipe. Now again, now that we have everything ready,
we believe we have everything.
we believe we have everything ready.
Until we quickly say, "Where's my?"
Hi there, Ted Scott. How are you doing, my friend? So, we've got a good surface on the first gather or wrap of clear glass. He's holding the pipe slightly above level to run that bubble down into the parazon, which the parazon is what we call the glass on the end of the blowpipe. He's going to go ahead and cool this off and reset that bubble. Just slightly inside the glass on the end of the pipe. Again, that's called the parazon. Okay, I understand your frustration, Ted. We're glad to know that you're doing well. That's the most important thing. And
Having trouble chasing me around? I think you need to hold this toward you,
yeah,
and now.
okay.
Okay, turn it.
But which button? The larger one?
Yeah. Just look at the camera And if the camera sees me, fine. If the camera doesn't see me, move your arm. So, twist your arm like that. And now, let's do this so it comes up a little bit.
Okay. What's
Hi,
there?
folks.
Hey, there we go.
Okay.
All right.
So you want to watch the camera.
I'm going to watch the camera while Bruce goes back in and gets his second gather. You do, Mary Beth Morgan, you do see where the cats come and go in and out of the studio. So Bruce got his second gather of glass. He stripped some of that glass, and now he's getting frit, the dark violet color, onto the clear glass. He's going to go ahead and melt it into the clear glass on the end of the pipe. Oops. And here we go. Now we're getting it. I've never really worked this camera before. One time a long time ago, and Bruce has melted that first wrap of frit into the surface of the clear. He's come back, he's gotten the second wrap of the frit on the clear glass on the end of the pipe, and he's melting that in. So in just a moment, he'll go and start using the marvering table to twist that frit in place on the surface of the glass. This is going to give some movement to the color on the surface, so that after we join these together and rotate the axis, you'll see some movement to the color. I'm going to come around the other way here. The camera doesn't really pick up, actually makes the glory hole look hotter than it actually is. Now here you can see Bruce twisting in a clockwise orientation, making that deep purple swirl onto the surface. And every time that you're touching the glass with cold tools, it's taking heat from the glass. So it's necessary to reheat it. Now Bruce normally works at this glory hole here, assisting Josh. And here he's making a button onto the bottom to twist that frit even more. He used his combination shears to cut that little button off, and now he's going to go ahead and straighten that glass out again on the end of the pipe. What a great job you're doing here, Bruce. Joanna Rudnicka in the UK says this is really fab to watch you making glass this morning. All right, now we're going to use a block to go ahead and change the shape a bit. The moisture in the wood, when it comes into contact with the glass, generates a layer of steam for the glass to ride against. Okay, he's going to continue to heat that glass on the end of the blowpipe, and he's got a good idea based on the heat in the glory hole of about how long he wants to heat the glass to change its viscosity, or how runny it is, so he can put a skin on the glass he's going to go ahead and blow into the pipe, trap the air with his finger. And you'll notice that he's holding it above level. And you can see where the glass expanded. And that means that the bubble went down into that glass on the end of the blowpipe. So even though we cannot physically or visually see the bubble underneath the purple colors, our giveaway is that the glass on the end of the pipe expands. So he's heated that glass up once again. And now he's going to go ahead and create a neckline. He's going to inflate the glass again. Shall I attempt a punny?
Pardon me?
Shall I attempt a punny?
No.
No?
No. Just like you made your own punny. You made your own punny. I will make my own punty.
Okay, understood.
Okay.
You got it.
Button this neckline down some.
Okay.
Alrighty?
Yeah.
So, if I take a little too long making the punty, I may ask you with one hand flash it.
Okay.
But if I get, actually, I'm going to borrow a tool from Todd because see, we really didn't get everything we needed.
All right.
This is like a security blanket. It's a diamond embedded bandsaw blade, actually made for cutting glass. It's kind of cheating, okay? But if it gets the job done, who cares?
That's
So,
the important part, is to get it all taken care of. All right.
Now you can see from the glow in the glass, it's still got heat. The pipe has kind of a cherry red color to it. So we're still good. We have time to hang it. Touch the pipe just a little. Down to the glass for the moment. Let the glass fall down on the pipe. You don't want it off the pipe a long way.
So Bruce is making his punny. He's cooling and shaping it on the end of the punny iron by cooling and shaping it on the marvering table. He's going to go ahead and attach it.
Okay, coming toward you.
Okay, he's going to use this saw blade
I'm coming to the bucket.
to create a fracture point.
It's all right.
Good. All right, nicely done, Bruce. Okay. Now we need to get our calipers again to go ahead and measure the
So
opening.
I'm trying to hurry this along a little bit. Hope you can stay with us. We may go past a minute or a minute or two. We're trying to get this done. So now we have the first cup. And as of all the pieces Foster made, it was cold enough to fracture. It takes a while to reheat. But the beauty of this heating is it will cause the glass to contract a little bit, get thicker at that lip. And that's what we really want.
So what we'll do is I have a paddle here, aka the Board of Education, depending on how it's applied, and we're going to go ahead, and as Bruce begins to open up the diameter of the mouth, I will use the paddle to ensure that we have a nice flat smooth surface that's thick and we'll then take that and put that into the garage to hold that while the next piece is being created.
On both? The boat?
Oops, sorry. Okay.
Isn't that cool, Foster? Doesn't it look like the viewers are putting the paddle on?
Oh,
Isn't that
absolutely.
slick? Okay,
There we go. Nice. Very good. All right. So now he's going to go ahead and heat it once again, and we'll open it up a little bit further. Hi, Barbara Belzer. How are you, my friend? Did you get any?
If you're going to do the camera, you got to tell them every once in a while to like, share, and comment.
Remember that.
Comment,
Yeah.
get in the
Okay.
drawing.
Bruce reminded me to share, like, and comment so that you can find out if you might potentially be the winner of this week's to be determined piece of glass that we'll be giving away.
Above me. Off, please. So now what I'm trying to do is get kind of a uniform diameter out to the lip. Okay, and off.
All right. Very
We've got a
nice,
fairly
Bruce.
thick lip there, so that's pretty good.
Good. All right.
Take a flash first.
Okay, and then, so now that he has the glass on the end of the punny prepared, close to prepared, he's going to do a quick reheat. He's going to use the calipers to get the diameter so that the other bubble or the next bubble can be mated up to it.
The turning, the centrifugal force from me turning is opening that lip a little bit. So I'm going to bring that down.
Do you want to paddle again?
And then, hold on. Okay, I'm going to go reheat the lip again. I'm going to put a dent in this.
Oh, you're going to put the dent in it now. Okay.
So what we're going to do here is prepare this now for the switched axis. So we'll put a little indentation in the lip with the edge of the tweezers. When we make the second cup, we'll also put it on a punty rather securely. And then the goal will be to get the two dents lined up so we have a place to put a blowpipe.
That's right.
Wild.
There you go.
So now you know how it's going to be done, whether it works or not. Okay.
Okay, so here we have the cup. Bruce is going to take the pincers and he made the indentation. Can you see that dip that he put in there?
Okay, I'm going to surround the rest of that up a little bit. All we need is a space. A little gap to get into. Otherwise, it's kind of a lengthy process to do.
Where do you want a,
I'm just going to use the jacks very gently.
do you want a paddle?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so here we are, we're talking. Bruce is using the jacks to round out the backside here. That indentation that he made.
Okay.
Frankly, it
now I'll take the
almost,
flash and then we'll set the caliper.
okay. It actually almost looks like a spout
Yeah.
on a cup. And this is very intentional. Now he's going to go ahead and take the calipers and measure the
I'm going to get
diameter.
about where I want to be. Good.
Okay, very good. All right. Now he'll put a little bit more heat back into this, and then we'll go ahead and put this into our two-car garage, and we'll put it over on the side that's just a little bit cooler. I think you can see it in the garage here.
Yeah, you can probably
And-
catch it from this side too when I go
Yeah.
out of the way.
Okay.
You guys will just want to keep track of this every once in a while for
Yeah.
us, okay? So now what we're going to do, we're going to have a piece of white for the opposite cup, okay? We'll form that cup, we'll actually putty it, and then we'll put a dent in it.
All right, very good.
And we're going to need another blowpipe up as soon as this one clears
That's correct.
for the
Yeah.
switch tax, okay?
Do you want to use
All
a...
right. We
Okay.
get another putty iron over here. Yeah, we thought we got everything set.
Okay.
Before we started. I got it. Okay.
Bruce, this one's been cleaned, so this is good.
What's that?
This one's been cleaned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. We'll put this one aside. Okay.
Oh, no, is that a big one? No, that's a standard. Okay.
Is that what you want?
All right, that's good, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Good.
Hey, Foster,
Yes, sir.
I'm up here.
Oh, that's
I just
correct.
I really wanted to use that one. I'm up here.
Yes, you are.
Okay, we got a piece of white in the annealer.
So, Bruce is going to the annealing oven to pick up a piece of white. You can see the white there on the end of the blowpipe. Just pick that up, put it into the glory hole. It'll take...
Sometimes, if I'm not really sure that the white adhered to the pipe really well, I'll put the pipe in at a bit of an upward angle. Now gravity is actually helping me push the white toward the pipe a little bit in case I screwed up. Now that it's adhered pretty well, I'll bring it to level in the yoke.
And that way we're ensured that the piece of colored glass stays on the end of the blowpipe. Don't worry about it.
Huh?
I say don't worry about the time.
YouTube doesn't care, do they?
No.
We might lose some viewers, but we can keep playing.
Well, this isn't
Okay.
This isn't YouTube, is
Okay.
it? No.
We need to get this hot enough so I can manipulate it at the marble. Like right now, it's still got pretty much the shape that it came out of the annealer. So it's going to take a minute to heat this up.
That's right, Rude. Rude says toys for boys.
Toys for boys. You got that.
Hey, Rude, I really like the 3 trail vase that you made recently and shared with us. That was a great piece. Thank you. And Lynn Byer says, take the time you need. We're here for you. Thank you, Lynn. And so please remember to share, like, and comment.
You the man.
Hey,
You the man.
I'm slowly getting the hang of it. It's quite interesting being behind the camera here. And I have to watch what you're watching, or you're watching what I'm watching. So, Bruce is holding that color above level so that it...
Not to let it fall back toward the
Yeah.
pipe a little bit. I'm going to heat it more and put a little air. It's like the old joke in the bar. If you're not here after what I'm here after, you'll be here after I'm gone.
That's why we specify
Okay,
that
so
these...
Get this hot enough, compact the shape a little bit, pull a little bit of air.
So he's going to cool and shape it on the marbling table. Hold it up so that the color comes back on itself. He's blow capping the color, which means that he blew into the pipe, trapped the air with his finger, and the heat at the end of the pipe caused that trapped air to expand in the form of a bubble.
Okay.
So,
You can explain stuff. I'm just going to go over there and get my water bottle because I'm getting thirsty.
you go and get your water bottle. And I'll go ahead, and here we have in the garage, you can see I came over and it was sagging down. So I'm going to go ahead and raise it up so that it can sag back down to center, and I'll pay a little bit more attention to it here while we're working with Bruce. Bruce went and got a little bit of water to wet his whistle, and he's now ready to go ahead and case the clear glass, or the white colored glass, with clear glass. This is that first gather or wrap of glass on the end of the blowpipe. This is now what we call case glass. It's clear glass or colored glass that's been encased in clear. He's cooling it and shaping it in a wooden cup, the block.
Now dip the blocks once in a while, Foster, get bad if I burn them out.
I don't worry about that stuff anymore. Cindy, that is what, in fact, what we call it, cased glass. And because it's color that's been encased in clear glass, sometimes 2 or 3 layers of clear glass. But what you watched earlier was you watched the clear glass pick up the crushed colored glass. Now here Bruce blew into the pipe, held the pipe up slightly to run that bubble of color further down into the body of glass, or what we refer to as the parazon on the end of the blowpipe. So he's going to cool and shape this, and now he's going to just flash heat the whole entire piece, and then I believe he's going to bring it back and heat just the face of the parazon so that that bubble can go further down into the parazon, because we're going to go ahead and open up this cup on the end of the blowpipe.
Actually, this one we're going to transfer.
Oh, we're going to transfer.
I should have made that clear. That's the one thing you should always do.
Okay.
Tell whomever you're working with exactly what you're going to do.
Okay.
So that we know what. So these are going to be 2 cups on punties.
Okay.
We're not going to leave this one on the blowpipe.
Oh, okay. I see where you're going with this. All right.
That's simply to accommodate the rotation of the axis later on.
Understood. I'm a little behind the curve on this one here.
What's that?
I say I'm a little bit behind the curve on this one.
No, I didn't make it quite clear, but we're good.
All right, so
We could have done this on the blowpipe like Foster did his, but then one end of the glass both ends of the glass would wind up open at some point.
right.
And we would have to squeeze it together with shear. I didn't want to do that. So, let's see here.
Okay.
Let's get closer.
We're pretty darn close, that's right. So Bruce was just taking a quick measurement of the diameter of the glass with the calipers. He's hung the pipe up. He's going to get a gather of glass on the putty iron. He's going to make his putty. He's holding it up above level so that the glass comes back onto itself. He's going to cool it and shape it. Going to attach it to the bottom of the glass.
I'm going to use that saw blade again.
He's going to use the saw blade on that neckline for that decreased diameter. Hit the pipe.
all right.
No, take your time. There you go. So that's come away. That's separated from the blowpipe. And now he's going to go ahead and begin to heat the mouth of the piece. There, I had to put that pipe off the bench.
So normally we wouldn't have the neck of the vessel that thick, but we do want it thick to join up to the other bubble. So for a good break off, that should have been thinner, but while we got it off, now it gives us something we really want, which is a little thicker glass up there. And if it sounds like I'm making excuses, I am.
And David, we did make our case clear, although it actually appears white. I understand totally where you're coming from, my friend. Now, the mouth of the bubble that Bruce had in the white was the coldest part of the glass as he turned it around. It was the furthest away from the heat. So now he's going to go ahead and heat the mouth of that piece up so that he can begin to open it up, so that he can bring the piece, open it up, and bring it to the same size and dimension as the piece in the dark purple color that's sitting now in the garage. We're going to go ahead and here we go. Okay.
We're going to try and get this joined up before 1 o'clock. We may go over making the piece. But hey, we're having fun.
Well, we've gone over before because and it's fun going over. Everybody's having a good time, sharing, commenting, and liking.
Oh, that's not hot enough.
No, we need to get some more heat in there. While you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the cup that's in the garage. Okay.
You want to grab the calipers, Foster?
Sure.
I think we're all right on this.
Okay.
A little more?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to leave the calipers over here on the bench for you. Okay. We need
Please and thank you go a long way in a hot shop. Everywhere else too, but nobody likes to be ordered around.
David's having a blast, and Kathleen McClintock says you can't rush glass.
There you
No,
go.
Yep. Glass has a mind of its own. We're just asking it to do what we're wanting it to do.
Now,
Okay.
the turning in the glory hole opened it up. Come to the end view, Foster, and you can see the flare that was created by turning, okay?
Yeah.
So now we've got that about where we want for the other cup. Now we need the dent.
Okay. So he's going to flash heat the punny, then he's going to bring it out and heat just the very mouth of the piece. When we come out this time, when Bruce comes out, he's going to go ahead and use the edge of the pincers or the tweezers.
This is what I should have done on the other one.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So I'm going to torch.
We're going to go ahead and torch that.
You noticed on the other cup we did, the rest of the cup deformed as I pushed for the groove. By heating one spot.
All right.
Got it. And what I'll do is I'll heat over here, and then I'll flip it over.
To 180 degrees. Oh, to 90
Then I'll
degrees.
flip it over.
Okay. 90.
And probably after 2 more heats, Foster, I'm going to hand this to you.
Right.
And I'll grab my tweezers.
You're going to make that indentation.
Yours. And that's
Okay.
all we need. And if Bruce had done that the first time, it wouldn't have deformed so. But hey, live and learn. Okay,
All right.
now come on over here, please.
What would you
On
like?
my good side.
Yes, I'm on your good side.
Yeah. So now we're going to have to work out how we're going to do this.
Okay.
So you and I are going to be heating it. We're going to take the cup off of your punty
Okay.
and place it onto mine.
Correct.
Okay?
All right.
So, are you okay one-handing it, or you want me to hold the camera while we do this?
Maybe we should just put the camera. Oh, here comes
Here
Theta.
comes Theta.
Here comes
All right.
Theta.
You know, if Theta would come right over here by Todd's bit, we'll explain what's going on. Thank you, Theta. Theta to the rescue. Just point our way, and we'll tell you what's going on.
I know, he forgets.
Okay, Foster, take it to the right side and hold it over there for about 30 seconds. What Foster's doing is introducing a little bit more heat into that cup. And in about another 15 seconds, after I take a flash over here, I'm going to get out and he's going to come on. Bring it, buddy. Now I can also flash at Foster's glory hole. That's fine, Pete. You can just stay on him. Okay, Foster, after you have a good heat in it, just go on back and make sure we've got pretty close to the same setting on the calipers.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Give that about a 10 or 15 second flash, please, Foster. Now come on out and let me take a flash. About another 15 seconds and then pull back and heat the lip. Go in the yoke. I'll go to the other glory hole. Go ahead and use the yoke. Pull way back. Get the lip hot, but not moving. That's the idea. Yes, sir.
You want to read the spouts?
Heat the mouth only. Heat the mouth only.
Opening up.
It doesn't matter. You're going to deliver it with the opening down.
Okay.
And then you're going to flip it. You got the lip hot. Keep it turning gently. Bring it on over. Hold it nice and level. Flip down. Flip down. Flip. Lower your hands, please. Flip. Okay. Take these tweezers in one hand. Strike down on the pipe. And we double tap. And we got an opening there, hopefully, that we can get into. Okay. So now you're gonna grab this again in a minute, okay? I'm gonna shape it up a little bit, give us an opening, form the collar, and then we'll go. Okay? So what I'm gonna do now is roll it back and forth on the marker a little bit to help it seal where it was joined in. But I don't want to close up that little duck bill I made. There are a couple of guys that don't do this. They're doing all right. stiff. The purple is soft. But what I'm trying to do is seal that joint line a little bit now. Would you grab the torch, please, Foster, on the marker there? Torch the opening. Come around over here. You stand here. We're going to go side to side, buddy. Okay, I'm flipping. Right into it. And when we see the piece go toward the floor a little bit, we know there's sufficient heat in the putty. We're flipping. And we're flipping again. And you're off. All right, I'm going to go back and flash it here. We can see a good view there. I'm going to go back and flash it, warm it up a little bit, and get it ready for the other pipe. So we told you that most of our incalmo pieces have one cup on top of the other. That's what we've got right now. But when we take another pipe and put it in that opening we've created, then we'll have one cup on one side, one cup on the other. You can see that that purple color is really pretty bright orange, so it's really hot. And what I'm going to do here is create a place. See, it'll still fall toward the floor some. It's got plenty of heat in it. Okay. All right. Time out. The surgeon told me that they always take a time out before they go to the next step, just to make sure that nobody puts the wrong part in or something.
That's excellent.
Okay, so, Foster, you're going to flash this, okay?
Right.
I'm going to make a collar on the other blowpipe.
Correct.
And then when it's time, I'm going to bring the collar over. You'll be seated at the bench. I'll bring the collar from above. We'll go straight down into the hole. And then I'll rock back and forth and work on sealing it. If I've got enough coverage, I'll ask you to use the strap of the jacks to press the collar into the piece a little bit, the leftover glass. We're going to come down on it with a flat, okay? And we'll want a little bit of a cone if we can. If there's not enough glass, ain't no big deal. Okay? Okay? All right, so I'll just leave this to you, sir. And I'm going to be using the bench to make the collar, okay? Sounds great. Put the gather in Foster's glory hole and blow through it so that it's open on the end. Now I'm going to make sure that it's open. And I'm actually going to use the newspaper a little bit. Shape it. And then the, whoops.
Okay.
I usually work with my jacks on top of the bench, so it's just a matter of preference. I'm coming back on this a little bit and I'll show you. See how the glass is pushed back from the end of the pipe? That's so that goes in the hole and this comes down over the top. Okay. You may need another flash. I'll let you know, Foster. Go ahead to the bench for just a second. So when I bring this, we'll see the end of the pipe, which will go into that hole. There'll be excess glass around the collar.
Correct.
And that's the glass that you can actually use, probably the strap of the jacks to push down on. I'm going to grab the diamond sheet shears to place the column. Oh my goodness, we've gone 10 minutes over. Hey, what the heck? Okay, so I'm going to get this really pretty hot.
You want me to heat this one time?
Give it a flash. I'll go to your, you go here.
I got it.
Okay. He's the boss.
He thinks so.
That ought to do it. Yeah, just hang out for a minute. I want that purple getting duty. Okay. All right, so moment of truth now, folks. We're going to find out if we really figured out how to do this. All right, we'll grab the diamond shears. Strap of the jack to push the glass down onto the pieces I rock. That's it. There. All the way around. Yep. I'm coming back toward theta. Press there. I'm coming back toward this side here. Reach the other side. Press. Press. That's enough. That's enough. Okay. Now, water right here. Just a drop. That's it. Good deal. And there we go. So now, we have the cups side by side. A lot of work for a student, isn't it? It also isn't anywhere near round. And I probably made a huge mistake selecting white as one of the colors, because it's not going to want to move. But we'll see what happens. So by heating this whole thing up, now it's not going to round out for a while yet, but in a few minutes we'll get it soft enough that it will do this.
Nice job.
I feel like it's a massive success so far.
Absolutely. It sure is.
Okay.
All right.
You got it?
Thank you.
All right, here we are again.
That saved our bacon.
All right, thank you, Theta, for that.
Watch the camera.
Yes.
It's hard to watch the camera and not watch what's going on. Watch the camera.
Theta says watch the camera while we ask you to share, comment, and like. Bruce is rolling back and forth the two pieces together on the marvering table, getting them rounded out. I think that this is terrific, Bruce.
Note to self, pick better colors next time.
That's okay, he's doing a good job. Thank you, Bob, we appreciate that. Are you new with us, Bob? Hi, Mary Beth, David, Joanna. Yes, some of these pieces take an amazing amount of time to make them happen. So the marvering table is really important here in working these two bubbles together. And this is called a rotated axis. You saw earlier where I put two bubbles together side end to end. Here we put them together side by side and picked up that opening in the side each so that it would have an opening to attach the third blowpipe to the first two pieces. And this is finally coming around. Bruce is doing such a terrific job here. And you want to put enough heat into the glass to get it to move, but not too much heat that it gets too terribly sloppy. What a nice job, Bruce. What is this?
Wet that block for me, please. wet that block for me, please?
All right.
Actually, probably a number 4 will be good enough right now.
Okay, I wondered about that.
I think. Huh?
Oh yeah, I
You were
think you
right.
got it.
Won't go.
Okay. So here we have a large block that we're now blocking it up with. Again, the blocks are made of cherry wood. This is one of our larger size pieces.
Okay, now we're good
Larger
for that.
size blocks. We'll hold on to this one until you gather over it, if that's what you're going to do. All right, so now we've got the blocks sorted out.
So you saw the 2 cups when they first joined side by side. The piece was very wide. It looks like somebody said earlier, a large pill. And what we have to do is get that back down to a rounded shape to be able to work with it. So we're getting closer to that now. Not quite there yet, but much closer.
Yeah, so what's interesting here is, remember, the darker color that you see here is actually a violet color, and it absorbs its heat more quickly than the white colored glass. It's just the nature of the beast. It appears orange or yellow in color, while the white color tends to throw its heat until it absorbs enough heat that it moves as easily as the darker color. This is difficult to tell from watching, but that's the way, like the 2 halves of a heart. There you go, Mary Beth. That's correct. So Bruce has taken his blow hose and attached it to the back of the pipe. He's going to go ahead and block it up, and he's blowing lightly into the blow hose to get that seam seamlessly. Judy, the glory hole actually is not quite as hot as it appears on the camera. So we can come back, and it's bright enough in the studio that there's really no time for adjustment. Now, Bruce, having used the blow hose to bring that seam seamlessly together in its diameter.
If we weren't trying to get through this quickly so you can see it, we would have taken time to burn off these little punty scars here. But I'm hoping that when we put the clear glass over top of this, we'll be able to disguise it enough. But let this cool off a moment, we'll gather and see what happens. But this is your basic switched axis, rotated axis, whatever your choice to call it. We might use that larger block now.
Okay.
If,
Yeah.
I'm going to strip a lot off, but we'll see.
Okay, Bruce is going to get a final gather.
We'll let it cool a little.
Yeah, he's going to let it cool a bit. Better to be safe than sorry. So again, you can see where the collar or that excess glass off the current blowpipe was pushed down onto the 2 cups that were brought together. And I'll get the door for you, Bruce. Okay. Now he just went ahead and did what we call stripping the glass, getting rid of excess glass. It's right there.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you.
Good, nicely done. Okay. That's terrific. All right, so he used the block to get an initial skin onto the glass, and now he's using the wetted paper to further shape the glass on the end of the blowpipe, or the parazon. All right. I can sprinkle water on your paper. All right, so now Bruce is really going to drive some heat into this glass to get it all of a uniform temperature. We're going to continue to cool and shape it using the newspaper and the marvering table. He has a good idea of what he'd like to use. You can see how it changes the shape of the glass on the end of the pipe. It points that glass. And he's going to go back, heat it once again, so it drives heat into the upper portions of the glass on the end of the blowpipe that we again refer to as the parazon.
To the bench, would you get me another door, please?
Yes.
Just one side? Thank
Yep,
you.
yep. You got it. All right. So Bruce is going to get into the bench, use his paper, and he's inflating the glass, cooling and shaping it further with the glass, with the paper, up towards the top of the parazon, and he's cooling the bottom once again. I think what I might even do, Bruce, is I'm going to put up a bit iron for a cheater if necessary. All right, so Bruce is working at getting enough heat into the glass on the end of the pipe so that the bubble inflates in dimension equally, even though the two different colors absorb and lose heat at different rates. Now he's going to use his jacks to go ahead and begin to create a neckline.
That's all right, I need to get a little more heat in it. Could you get me another door, please?
Sure. All right, here, bear with us a second. We're going to open up this door. Okay. We opened up both of the doors, the larger doors. Renee says a Pokemon ball. We're going to go ahead, Bruce is going to go ahead and pull that side using the marvering table to cool and shape the glass. There we go. All right, what a clean piece Bruce is executing here. Joyce says, guessing a bowl or a vase? He's going to do a vase here, Joyce.
That's all right, I don't need the shield because I'm going to...
We're going to work on, Bruce is going to work on the neckline here. Using the jacks to make that indentation. and then it's time to reheat. Good. So like, share, and comment about Bruce working on this rotated access vase that he's making for us this afternoon. We're going to work on this neckline once again.
So here's the only problem in having the old guys in here. We could use those younger ones, bring the paddle up further toward my hand, up more, yeah, under the edge of the hand. There we go, that's what shields the heat. Josh and Todd could just sling this glass around like gangbusters. But when it gets hot, it's harder to control. So I was having a little difficulty there. But now I think we'll be able to break that off.
Okay. You want to do a cheater on this?
Yeah.
Or are you going to shape this some more?
Gonna shape it some more.
We're going to shape this piece of glass some more. We've got the neckline prepared. That's the most important thing, so that it can come off the blowpipe onto the punty. How's that?
That might be an adventure too, but look at it this way. We're setting it up for Josh and Todd next week. Okay, what I'd like you to do right now, Foster, even if you have to get off the camera or point it a different way, is put those two cork paddles in water. They're over there behind you, but they're sitting up. Is that other bucket behind you clear? Does it have anything in it?
Nope.
Okay, let's put both paddles in the water.
All right. Okay, so Bruce had asked me.
Go ahead and take the mold out. I'll be getting that in a minute. I'll tell you what. You have camera in your hand.
I'll put it down for a moment. I'll put it down for a moment.
Okay.
Okay.
Here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to heat this, and I'm going to use my blow hose to cap the pipe. As soon as I go back and hang this in the yard arm, you come in behind me with two paddles, and I'll take them from you.
Okay.
Okay? How's that sound?
That sounds good.
Hold the hose up for me so it doesn't burn. I got this.
Okay, we're using cardboard.
Let me get the blow hose off and this down. I got it.
Okay, so here Bruce used cardboard paddles to flatten the sides. We're going to do this once again, Bruce, because they just come up.
I'm going to get heat. Let me record it. Okay. I'm going to get a heat.
Okay.
I'm going to hold it upward.
Yeah.
And you're going to draw it in. Okay?
Right. You got it.
I'm going to push it down.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm coming behind you guys.
Okay. Feet is behind you, Bruce.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get out of the way.
Don't squeeze real hard. I want to load it around this shape.
Okay.
Right?
Got it.
Okay. Can I stay right there? Okay. Good. Good deal. We're all in a good place. Do it. Up. 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 That's good.
Okay. Excellent.
Okay, so now we're going to put the button on the bottom, which we call a cheater. Officer's going to wait till I get my slow button pitch here, and he's going to bring that over, and we'll put the bit right down here. Now you see we've got the purple on one side, the white on the other. You'll see purple in the one side reflected in the white. He's going to bring that to me. He's going to hold it still, flip. Probably have to take a flash Foster. I'm going to shake that bottom just a little bit. You got it. Ooh, 1:30.
It's a 3-hour show.
What's that?
3-hour show.
Hey,
They're still with us.
are they still with us?
37 people.
Holy smoke, thank you all.
Everybody's really into this.
Join us in reinventing the wheel.
Hey, Foster, Bob was Bruce's brother-in-law. That you asked him who he was?
Yeah.
That's his brother-in-law.
Oh, okay.
Don't push. Okay, we're going to be there for a minute.
Yep.
Because that money's hot. Fingers crossed. Hey, we did it! Beautiful. Oh, that's right. We're not supposed to act surprised when it works right.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the sign of a real master, huh? Holy shit, I did it. Oh, sorry.
Oh, but she says it's Lynn watching. It's your sister
What's
watching.
that?
It's your sister watching, not
My sister's
not
watching.
Bob.
Hi, Lynn. Are you watching this while you ride your recumbent bike? I think I'm getting more exercise.
She said you are getting more exercise.
You're getting more exercise, she says.
What's that?
You are getting more exercise.
Oh. Yeah, it don't look like it, does it? I don't have to. Come on.
Yeah. Okay.
So, you'll be able to look at this piece when it's done, hopefully, look through the purple with the white background and see into it.
See into and up against the white.
So, I believe in symmetry. And we're falling a little short here.
My
That
favorite,
has to do with the glass blowers experience. So, if you're not going to make a classically shaped form, call it organic. You can get away with it.
my favorite piece is that one that you can
What's
look.
that?
My favorite piece is the one you can look into, and it's the peach and blue.
Oh, yeah.
I love that one. Should go get that one.
Is that one up front?
Yeah. You know which one it is, the tall one?
Yes.
No, just bring it here.
All right. Miss Foster,
Go. Yes. Indeed.
you want to set a caliper to like 14 so we know when it'll stand up in the annealer?
Sure.
That's getting optimistic. So I asked him to take a pair of calipers and set them at 14 inches because that's like the tallest piece we can put in there in the annealer right now. But if we go a little larger, then perhaps we'll just lay it down. Now you can see a lot of heat in the end of the piece down there. That's how much reheating you put to get that to soften up. So I'm going to round it out and open it up a little bit. But I'm also this with a piece of paper.
Where I've got your calipers here.
Okay, I just wanted to get a general idea. I don't think we're going that big. But just in case.
I think if you put that on the marver.
Should I close up one side?
What's that?
Close up one side or?
No, I'm just going to swing it out some.
Okay.
I might do a pair of trails coming up after I swing
This
it
is
out.
my favorite piece.
We'll go for a little longer here.
Yeah.
And
You want to do two trails on each side?
what's that?
Two trails on each side? You say
Oh, two tails, yes.
Tail.
Maybe sort of coming off. But let's, I'm not sure yet. Let's just see what we're going to make it look like. Okay. Okay, I'm stepping over there. I'm going over there.
Okay. There's the propeller. Oh yeah, that's great.
So you guys are putting trails up the sides?
Potentially. We're going to see. Bruce had suggested something along those lines.
Drop it just a little more so that you'll see how long it is. I
Okay.
think we're cutting fine. I'll grab the top layer on the back. Oh my God, we got lots of room. Okay, we're good. Time to play. So, here's part of the heat, the physics of it. One side of the lip has a lot of the purple, the other side has a lot of the white. We've told you before that the white glass is stiff, the purple glass is soft. So when I spin this around, take a guess which side of the lip is going to lengthen more. That's just a little bit, but that's due to all the excess purple on that side.
I didn't get a very good shot of that.
Can you do that one quick again, Bruce?
What's that?
Just show it once again like you did
Do
just
it
now.
once more, yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
I think we're done.
Okay.
You want to glove up?
Yes, sir. You got it. All right.
Another glass blowing skill you need to learn is when to quit. And mine should have been about an hour ago.
Joyce likes it.
I think the lip is going to be a little warm still. Okay, and I'll go get that white board.
Yes. Yeah, I'll just bounce back and forth. You can give me the white on the downside, potentially.
Lift it. Close this and move the other one, babe.
Oh,
Let's hear it for the old guys.
Lunchtime.
Thank you all for showing up. If you're still hung in there, thank you for your patience. Next week, we'll have the dynamic duo back, and they'll show you how a lot of these other pieces are made. But thanks for checking and staying with us. Bye.
thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Thea. Thank you all for being with us. This has been great to have the old guys having fun episode during the snowstorm in the Mid-Atlantic on February 2nd.
Bye-bye.